Hey, my feral friends. Happy Monday, April the 6th, I believe. So, I read a lot, and I love to be at the park, especially on beautiful days. I think it's the trees. It's got to be the trees, and the water. Um, 'Cause I have birds out where I'm at. But anyways, I was sitting here reading a book. I'm usually reading anywhere from 3 to 5 books at a time these days. And this particular part is very interesting to me because I was thinking about conscious decisions. Like, how often do we actually think through the decisions we make before we make them? And under what conditions are we making these decisions? And once again, this is not scripted. I meditate, I pray, God and I talk, and then he's like, work it out. So I just think about, hindsight 2020. But the consciousness, the level of consciousness that you're at when you're making the decision actually has a lot to do with the decision that you're going to make. And so as I was sitting here going through this, thinking about it, trying to see how it was going to fit in and how I'm going to implement it into certain parts of what I'm working on. There are 15 levels of consciousness, and they might sound like this. So, and I'm actually reading this out of a book, so I'm going to give that book credit. It's Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender, by David R. Hawkins. My husband actually gave it to me. I guess he read it, gave it to me back in 2023. And I guess he was inspired by it, and a lot of it, I don't know if he's read it all, if he didn't read this book or what, but it's great. So thank you. So, relationship of consciousness to stress and disease, 15 levels. We have shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, on fear, desire, anger, pride, courage, neutrality, willingness, oh, hello little bee, acceptance, please don't sting me, oh, you don't want that, reason, love, and peace. Peace being the last one. And peace, of course, comes from within. So I was just thinking about all the decisions that we all have to make on a daily basis, day in, day out. And if we make decisions very quickly, hopefully we're making the right decision. But if we feel like we have to make a decision quickly, we often make the wrong decision. I like to talk things to death. I freely admit it. I wish I wasn't this way, but it's just my makeup. I want to look at something from every angle to make sure that I'm not missing something. And I'm usually always missing something. But you can overthink things to the point that it becomes paralyzing, and the inability to make a decision is more harmful than making the wrong decision. And once again, it goes back to how are we consciously moving forward in our daily lives with the decisions that we make. So, for instance, I go to bed early, well, relatively speaking early, but I have insomnia. I've got a lot going on in my little brain, and I don't want to just lay there and flip and flop and do all those things. So if I have been laying there for more than maybe 15 minutes, then I'm going to go ahead and think, okay, it's time to maybe think about reading something, listening to soft music, to a meditative practice. It just depends on where I'm at and the exhaustion level. But it is a conscious decision not to turn on the TV, or not to get up and do too much movement, or not to do something that would overstimulate my nervous system when I'm trying to regulate it, to calm down, to get into more of a schedule and routine, because my body still wants to get up at 3:30 or 5 or, whatever the case may be, and start my day, allow an hour or two for my meditative practices in the morning, stretching, gym, all of the stuff, along with what my actual day holds these days. And so meetings or whatever the case may be. So it's a lot. And then as I take a deep breath, I'm like, don't forget to breathe. So it's important that we slow down. We are conscious of the decisions that need to be made, and that we make those decisions with not only the best information that we have available at this moment, but as clear of a mind as we can possibly find, because we have done the work. We've done the breathing exercises. There's a couple things going on right now that it's causing me a little bit of anxiety, and I know that it's just God telling me to be patient. It'll work itself out. I'm waiting to hear back on a couple of things, and waiting is hard. And so, trying to fill your days and your nights with things that are productive and healthy and inspiring and uplifting and positive and full of love. It's not that it's hard to do, it's just you do have to make a conscious effort. It's like going to the gym. Who wants to make a conscious effort to go to the gym? Unless you like really cute little dresses with fabulous shoes that have all the matching accessories, and you think, do I really want this whatever, or do I want this whatever? It may be a simple choice. Typically it's not. But when you have really big decisions to make, how do you make them? Do you defer to people that are friends, family? Do you go to professionals? Do you just seek out someone with more wisdom than you? I mean, obviously, it depends on the decision that needs to be made, but I am interested on how people go about deciding. I have been guilty of reacting versus responding. And these days, I try to stop, take a deep breath, listen to what God has told me, and trust that His plan is better than any plan that I could possibly imagine, even if I have no idea what that looks like. Life truly is just an adventure. There are no guarantees. You just never know what's going to happen. And for all of the negative in the world going on, if you seek out the positive, it doesn't take much. Just walk outside on a beautiful day, listen to the birds. At night, go outside, look at the stars, look up, look at the moon. God's creation is just, it was designed to help us regulate our nervous system. If you look at trees, the whole design of trees is just, there's so much to unpack. And it's true, you go to a tree when you're really upset or nervous or anxious or happy. I like to give back positive energy to the tree, because I know there are people that when they get very nervous or anxious or whatever, they grab that tree, and that tree absorbs that energy. It's just like horses. I think I'm hoping to have some interaction with some horses tomorrow. But I'm told they're a little wild maybe, so we'll see. But it is one of those things that it is it's just a beautiful day. Sweet baby. So, throughout life, you'll have so many decisions to make. And take it from me, you don't want to be making the wrong decisions. So, think about regulating that nervous system. I have got to go. This squirrel and this little person are too cute. So, how do you make your big decisions?